When it comes to supernatural beings in mythology, few are as fascinating and enigmatic as the Tengus. Originally viewed as fearsome demons, over time, these complex beings underwent a transformation that elevated them to the status of guardians of forests and temples. How is it possible that creatures once feared are now revered as protectors? This surprising evolution leads us to question, to what extent can our perceptions change in the face of new perspectives? Get ready to dive into the history of the Tengus, where demons become defenders, and what was once feared is now embraced with respect. This journey will reveal ancient secrets that still resonate in the mountains and forests of Japan. And who knows, you might also discover how this transformation can reflect in your own life. Tengus, enigmatic figures in Japanese mythology, are seen as protectors of forests and mountains, playing a vital role in the balance of nature. These supernatural beings, with their imposing presence, seem to always be on the lookout, caring for the natural world with a silent yet firm attention. In many stories, the Tengus emerge as guardians, protecting the purity of the hidden shrines in the mountains and repelling those who dare to disturb the balance of the natural world. Imagine walking through a dense forest where sunlight barely penetrates through the thick leaves. The feeling of being watched can become intense, almost palpable. It is at this moment that the essence of the Tengus manifests, not as a threat, but as a protective presence, watching over the territory they guard. For those who respect nature, the Tengus are allies, but for those who despise it, they become formidable adversaries. The story of these guardians is not just an ancient tale. It resonates with the contemporary need to respect and preserve nature. Like the Tengus, we must be vigilant and protect the natural resources that surround us. As we delve deeper into the mythology of the Tengus, we begin to understand that their legend goes beyond mere stories. It teaches us valuable lessons about harmonious coexistence with the natural world. Within Japanese mythology, the Tengus do not present themselves in a single form, but are divided into two main types, each with its own distinctive characteristics. The first type, known as Karasu Tengu, has an appearance reminiscent of crows, with black wings and a sharp beak, symbolizing a direct connection to the world of birds. They are often described as cunning and fierce creatures, always alert, watching from above. On the other hand, there is the Konoha Tengu, whose form is more human-like but with a supernatural touch. These Tengus have a red, elongated face with a notably long nose, features that represent their wisdom and spiritual power. Despite their more humanized appearance, they maintain the same strength and authority, being revered and feared for their ability to intervene in the world of humans and gods. The duality between the Karasu Tengu and the Konoha Tengu reflects the richness and complexity of Japanese mythology, where the supernatural blends with the human, creating beings that inhabit both the spiritual and physical worlds. Each of these types of Tengus brings a different lesson, whether through the cunning of the Karasu Tengu or the wisdom of the Konoha Tengu, showing that strength and intelligence can take many forms. Tengus are often associated with impressive martial skills, being masters of various forms of combat, capable of rivaling even the most skilled samurai. In Japanese mythology, these beings are depicted as formidable warriors, whose sword techniques and martial arts are legendary. They not only master weapons but also possess supernatural agility and strength that make them practically invincible adversaries. A classic example of this power is the legend of the Tengu who trained Minamoto no Yoshitsune, one of Japan's most celebrated warriors. It is believed that Yoshitsune acquired his exceptional combat skills directly from the Tengus, who taught him secret techniques and movements so fast they almost defied the laws of physics. This story reflects the belief that Tengus possess knowledge that transcends human understanding, making them not only guardians but also unsurpassed masters of the art of war. Learning from the Tengus is not just physical but also mental. They teach the importance of discipline, strategy, and patience in combat, lessons that can be applied in everyday life. Whether in overcoming personal challenges or striving for perfection in a specific skill, the martial discipline of the Tengus inspires us to reach levels of excellence that, at first glance, seem impossible. In addition to their martial skills, Tengus are famous for their magical powers, which further distinguish them in Japanese mythology. These supernatural beings not only excel in physical combat, but also control natural and spiritual forces with impressive ease. Flying is one of their most iconic abilities, allowing them to observe the world from above and move swiftly between the mountains and forests they protect. Tengus are also known for their ability to manipulate the winds, creating powerful storms and gusts that can change the course of a battle or protect sacred territories. Additionally, their teleportation skills allow them to appear and disappear at will, making them practically intangible to their enemies. In some stories, they are even capable of entering human dreams, subtly but powerfully influencing their thoughts and actions. These supernatural powers give the Tengus an aura of mystery and respect, elevating them to an almost divine status in Japanese mythology. They are not mere beings of brute strength, but complex entities that dominate both the physical and the spiritual. For those who seek to understand and respect the forces of nature, the Tengus offer valuable lessons on the balance and harmony between the visible and invisible worlds. The stories of the Tengus are as varied as their abilities, and many of them serve as moral lessons, highlighting the role of these beings in Japanese mythology. In several legends, the Tengus appear as stern judges, punishing the wicked and those who abuse their power. A notable example is the tale of a tyrannical ruler who was carried away by a Tengu into a whirlwind as a form of punishment for his cruelty and disrespect towards nature. On the other hand, Tengus are also known for their benevolence, especially towards those with a good heart. In one of the most well-known stories, a Tengu helps a humble woodcutter, granting him an extraordinary ability as a reward for his kindness and respect for the forest. This duality, punishing the wicked and rewarding the good, reinforces the idea that Tengus are guardians of justice, balancing the forces of good and evil. The connection of Tengus with historical figures is also evident, as in the case of the legendary samurai Minamoto no Yoshitsune, who, according to legend, was trained by a Tengu in martial arts. These stories, while fascinating, also invite us to reflect on our own actions and how we treat others and the world around us. After all, the lessons of the Tengus are timeless, applicable both in the past and the present.
Now that you know the fascinating journey of the Tengus, from their days as demons to their rise as respected guardians, it is time to reflect. How can this knowledge impact your life? Like the Tengus, we all have the potential to transform our weaknesses into strengths, to overcome our inner demons, and become guardians of what is important to us. What are you doing to protect what is sacred in your life? If this story inspired you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning and transforming. The next step in your evolution is just a click away.